recording. Yes.
So, so you said maybe what you can do is close here, we wait, and in 2 minutes we come back, maybe?
No. We get started now. So I've sent several messages saying that please join the warm space link.
Yeah.
And it is the warm space link that we use for these events. So,
Okay.
hopefully it's going to, it's going to come across. And
Okay.
I can't do anything about the Teams link anyway, because it's created by Ellen. So I can't, I can't go in there anyway.
Oh, okay. So you mean that someone should go there and maybe...
No.
I do it because there's no issue with that. I can try to see if there's indeed a link, a Teams link. And
yes, there is one.
And go into it.
Yeah. Okay.
And see if.
And see, maybe if you can just message in that Teams group and say that please go to the warm space. Yeah.
We have Phil.
Yes.
Let me just cut my song.
Yes, there we go. She's opened that. I can see that.
Okay.
And
you know what? There's only one person in the team, so I'm going to tell her, okay?
Okay, good. Excellent. Yeah, and I'll just close this. Yeah. Sorry about this, guys. There's always some sort of technical issue or problem, but it is what it is. And we'll let Ellen tell this person who's waiting in the... it doesn't matter if you say it, 59 times or whatever, you say that, please go to the warm space. You always have somebody clicking on the wrong.
I must admit, it took me a while to find the link. It was too obvious.
It was too obvious.
It was right at the top, and I'm looking through all the text, scrolling through the text. I was like, what shall I click on?
But you didn't find. Yeah, it's just that I think Ellen just forgot to unclick. You need to unclick the Teams and not making it an online meeting. It's a setting, right? So it is what it is. But anyway,
I found it was all cool.
Yeah, exactly. And I sent it in the WhatsApp groups as well, the link to the warm space. So we're good. We're good to go. Yeah, right. So finally, welcome, Magali.
Welcome you. So I'm very happy to have all of you today. So first, I would love to learn a little more about you. Can you just type in the chat box your name? So I see your name, but also not the name of everyone. But where do you come from? So it gives me an idea. Already.
Well, you've already heard from Christine. So
Christine, Fatima, Lisbon, Portugal. Very nice city. Very nice city. Switzerland, not that far from me. I am in France, in Paris. Okay, Frankfurt, Germany. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, and also welcome Erin. Hello, Kyla. Kyla, where are you in the US, Kyla? Because US is big.
Very big.
French, so you have to give me more. Indiana, great. Do you have snow in Indiana now?
Snow? Was it you were asking about snow?
Yeah, does she have snow? And here in Toronto, Canada, very nice city. Yes, we have snow, yeah, of course. I've been in Minneapolis at that time of the year, so I know what you call snow comparing to what I call snow. Yeah. But I think it's something that happened. So maybe we can get started. So thank you very much to Anne and Ellen and all of the ladies and Beyond Flying and the guy Beyond Flying. This is for you, dear Phil, to welcome me today. So what we will talk about today, this is the untapped richness of experience. So this is what we will talk about today. So I hope you see. Okay, so before we start, a little about me. So I am a consultant in organization, and development and leadership. So this is the part what I do as with business, but also I do some research in adult learning, psycho-sociology of organization, and I'm interested in transition. And this has led me to, during what I see and what I have studied, to let me to ask to myself the following question, and also to make the statement that I have noticed that experience is not sufficiently used as a resource with everyone. People have far more knowledge that they believe they have, and also experiential knowledge, which we will talk about today, needs to be more valued. So I want to say that you may have expected a talk about tools, documentation, and or digital knowledge transfer, but what I would like you to consider today is that your most powerful knowledge is not in your system, but this is in your experience. So, how time together? First, we will explore what is experiential knowledge. Then we will talk about experiential knowledge, expertise and transfer on a broader perspective. And also then we will see a little bit of how to access this hidden treasure. So also, if there is, I know I have a very tough French accent. So if you have something that you don't understand, please type in the chat box if you want me to repeat some words. And also, talking about typing in the chat box, so can you please just type up to 3 words, what is experiential knowledge for you? What are the words that comes when we talk about experiential knowledge? So this is your turn now.
I'm giggling away. Yes.
Yeah. Yeah, okay. Innate expertise, great. Something new, innovative. Yes. This is, and nice to see you, Caroline. Okay, who else? What do you think? Hidden experience, great. Great. What else? What else? What are the words that come to mind when we talk about experiential knowledge? Someone else who has another idea? Don't be afraid to say something wrong. You know, there is never wrong answer. Knowledge gains through life experience. Yes. Yes, this is you give a very, very good reply, all of you. So I guess you already have some insight about experiential knowledge. So, what I will do I have to go there. So let's go on what is experiential knowledge. So if I want to say what is experiential knowledge, I will say this is something that is embodied. And to give you the idea of what means by embodied, I will talk about what is biking. So biking, okay, and then because I am in 2 screens in the same time. So biking is something that is very easy to describe, but if you want to explain what it is, you start to understand that it's very difficult to explain what is biking. And because it is something that is embedded, this is difficult not only to explain this knowledge, but also to transfer this knowledge. And we have a sentence in French about a knowledge that you never forget. We say it is like as biking. So you see, this is something that you have and you have it forever. And so this, if we want also to talk about that tacit knowledge, and tacit and implicit knowledge, we say it's embodied. So, for instance, landing a plane follow very strict procedure, of course, but what really make it works is that the hundred of micro adjustment and micro decision that make a pilot in real time. And those are embedded in experience, perception, and also action. So if I want to, of course, there is a lot of challenging in experiential knowledge, and to give you, because a picture speaks more than 1,000 words, I like this idea of the picture of the iceberg, because what we can explain and what we can see is only on the tip. But what most of what guides our action is invisible, and it's learned through experience rather than word. And if we want also to see what are the challenges of experiential knowledge, one of the difficulty is that because it's not very tangible, it's not very accessible, so it's very difficult to transfer. But it is very, very valuable. It is very capitalizable, and also very leverageable. So if I want to sum up, I would say that this is something that is very strategic for the person, the team, and the organization. But in the meantime, this is also very difficult to identify, to capture, and to access. So more challenges of experiential knowledge. So the difficulty is that people don't really want to share their tacit and implicit knowledge that is based on experience. Why? The question is, for most people, and we all know that knowledge is power. So sharing can feel like giving something away, and something that you have built over for a very long time. But it's not because you have the recipe that you are a chef. Because what makes a cooking chef, is the feel, the timing, all of the small adjustments, and all of this come from experience. This is why finally sharing experiential knowledge does not take anything away from you. And also, we all have the fear of losing our expertise and being replaced. But what I have seen, and I'm sure you can all agree, what make our professional added value, it's our experience, of course, and all of that, but also this is for our experiential knowledge, as well as our personal approach and talent. You still follow me? It's okay for everyone?
Yeah, it's great. It's super interesting.
Okay.
Thanks.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you. So, very briefly, let's talk very briefly of what we can say is the Western workplace context and challenging. So, and we can all agree that our world is facing the following contexts, following challenges. You have aging workforce. Also, we are living in a world, so a VUCA world. I don't know if you are familiar with this expression, but this is a world which is volatile, uncertain, complex, and ambiguous. So that means that everything is changing very, very fast. And also we don't know what will be our future, and we have always to adapt. And career transition, because now we have all integrated that we will not enter a job and stay for a very long time and stay until the retirement. People want some change, and the world is evolving. And also AI disruption, because whether we want it or not, AI is here. So we have to do with AI, and we have to face this disruption. So the challenges because of those contexts. So loss of knowledge and expertise. So this is just, we just have to do the math. There are more people in most of the industry, more people going to retirement than people going to replaces. Also, the question of cultural engagement and challenges, because it's difficult when you have people in very different places to make a culture of the company, and also company complain that people are not engaged, and also how do you make people with different culture work together. Talent acquisition and retention. So the difficulty is to have the best profile. All of the industry says this, and also to keep them. And the workforce planning and flexibility, because the world is changing very fast. So everybody has to be flexible, and everybody has to adapt to something that even in real time. So we have to take a lot of decision always and to adapt. And the last one we will more talk about, which is the digital transformation and skill gap. So if I want to illustrate and talk more about experiential knowledge and AI disruption, so it could be a little bit a joke, and but to illustrate it, so this is the work of accountant. I take accountant because it's very easy to understand. So back in the day, of course, it's a joke because we are not using abacus, but not that long time ago, and I think it's something like 20 or 30 years ago. So the word of accountant was to fill the balance sheet manually. But now, what accountant today is a software. So when you have a software that is doing your job safer, faster, better, and quicker than you have to imagine what you want your job to become if you want to stay relevant. So what do you have to do with all of those time that you have gained thanks to AI and software? And and also, if I want to share something that is more personal, so as you may have heard, I'm not a native English speaker, but I write paper in English. And back in the day, when I say back in the day, it's 3 years ago, I was writing something, I had to send it to native English colleague, and he will review it. Now, and I had to take something like 10 days before the submission. Now, in 1 hour, AI can totally correct my English, and I will have something absolutely flawless. But if I so I have gained 10 days of the submission, and tell me this is not, this is a thing. But if I let AI do everything, my paper will be totally flat, because AI tend to make something, of course, no typo, no grammar error, nothing, but it will be something very flat. So I have to ask myself, I will not have spent time on correcting, reviewing the English, but I will more time maybe to develop more idea, or maybe to work on my style. So I hope that is example say something to you. So the thing also to how can AI, how can experiential knowledge help to face AI disruption is, first we have to remember that skill is something that is dynamic. It's not because I am competent today that I will be competent tomorrow. So I have to integrate it. I have to adapt my skill every time. And also, thanks to experiential knowledge, I have time to imagine the future of my work. And my idea is to use AI to go from threat to serve. So now, if I want to talk about experiential knowledge and action, and want to talk about something that is really concrete, let me share about a well-known case, very well-known case, not as an heroic story, but as an example of experiential knowledge and tacit knowledge in action. So you may recognize it. In January 29, shortly after takeoff from New York, this aircraft have lost both engines after a bird strike. With only minutes, really short minutes to react, and no reachable airport, the pilot has chosen to land on the Hudson River. So, and why is it? We can talk about contextual sense making. Sullenberg had only a few seconds, and what it is was pure contextual judgment, so the judgment in the context. He integrated a lot of incomplete cues at once, and there was no rule following. It was holistic sense making in context. Radical uncertainty. He faced a situation for which there was no procedure, there was no shit in commercial invention. So this tacit and knowledge from experience becomes very decisive precisely at the moment when you have no formal knowledge and procedures, no formal knowledge to rely on, and procedures stop being relevant. And also, we can say he had embodied expert intuition because he had something like 20,000 of hours of flying, and they were not just accumulated hours. So they form what we can call embodied intuition. This is a tacit live sense of what the aircraft could and could not do. And this is really the core feature of experiential knowledge. This is when it's stored and not stored as rules, it's carried in perception, timing, and action. And we can see totally the strategic human in the age of AI because this is a key point for the future of work. And this human capacity who has made him land on the Hudson, so contextual judgment, managing uncertainty, and also this embodied intuition are exactly where AI reaches limits. Because in a world where AI automates everything that is possible to codify, experiential knowledge become a very strategic resources. So, experiential knowledge is your hidden treasure. So I hope I have convinced you that you are sitting on a hidden treasure and you don't need to have made a plane land on the ocean to have it or to access it. So usually it's used every day without noticing. Why? Because this knowledge, this tacit knowledge from experience is something that you use every day without even noticing it. Because when you make quick decision, when you have the intuition that guides you, when something difficult at work or in private life. So these are all expression of lived and tacit knowledge. Also, this is rarely named and rarely recognized because when we don't see it, we don't mobilize it. And the challenge is that we don't really name it, we really rarely recognize it, we rarely mobilize it intentionally. It remains invisible, even so it is always constant. It is always constantly shaping the way we act. So you can see that the hidden layer, so it becomes strategic. I think it's the age of AI because what cannot be codified, and we all agree that AI is codifying everything that can be automated, your judgment, your intuition, your embodied sense of intuition, that this is where your unique value sit. This cannot be codified by AI. So accessing the experiential knowledge. So let me give you a very simple example to show you how difficult it is to access to this experiential knowledge. So I guess that so the morning, so for some of you, this is already the morning. So you had the last time you had a coffee. So remember last time you had a coffee, it was your breakfast. So take a few seconds to remember it. So picture it in your mind. So I give you 2 seconds. So who wants to take the mic and to describe how you picture it? Who wants to do it? Who is volunteering? You
Okay, if nobody wants to do it, I guess I will have to do it. Recalling
Okay.
my breakfast, yes. 2 pieces of toast, an egg, and a cup of tea.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I imagine that you see something like a scene, you know, like
Yeah, I kind of see the plate, and I see the yeah.
Okay, so I guess you see something like this.
I do. Yeah, I kind of see
With blonde hair.
myself. Yeah, sitting at the breakfast table. Yes.
Okay.
I do. Yeah,
So
with my
So, but so here is the thing. This is what you see, but it is impossible because you cannot see. You cannot watching yourself from the outside.
no,
So
no.
what you really experience oops, sorry, what you really experienced and what you should have described. But we are all this. This is the cup in front of your eyes and the hand holding it, plus the sensation and the movement. I don't know if you have a pink cup, but let's imagine it. So this is what your eyes actually saw. And this is the difficulty with experiential knowledge and all of this tacit and implicit knowledge. Our brain constantly reconstruct our experience instead of giving us the direct access to what we really live. And this is what we work on. And this is when it comes interesting. It's because it's about helping people move away from reconstruct and made up story and mental image and come back to what they really experienced. Because this is actually where the experiential knowledge actually lives. Okay, so making experiential knowledge visible. So how you can do it? So first, it's to identify. So the first step is to relieve what your experience has already taught you, not through theory, but through reflection, stories, and concrete situation. Most of the time, people don't realize how much they already know, and still until we really slow down and we look at what we have already actually done. Leverage. The second step is to name and recognize this tacit knowledge so it becomes rather usable instead of invisible. Because as long as it stays invisible, it can be used intentionally. So once we articulate it, even in simple terms, it becomes a resource for us instead of an hidden layer. And then the last step is to transfer it. And finally, the idea is to transform this knowledge into something that we can transfer, that is usable, and we can use it for transition, for collaboration, for leadership, and also for working with AI instead of being overwhelmed by it. So, oops. So, conclusion. The experiential knowledge is your most powerful resource. This is what allows you to navigate change, to find your way through uncertainty, ambiguity, and transition when there is no clear answer. This is also what enables you to shape your future, not just by reacting to what happens, but by making informed, situated decisions based on experience. And finally, this is what helps us to stay human at the age of at the age of AI, because everything that can be automated can be codified, will be automated, but judgment, intuition, and sense making rooted in live experience, so what makes us human, cannot be replaced. So thank you very much. Voila.
Wow, I just say thank you.
You're very welcome.
It's just so I'm fascinated by this, and I think you summed it up so beautifully when you say that, AI, you have to change your perception of AI from threat to being something that can serve you, right? And it's but we want to open up the floor, right, for everyone to ask as many questions, and yeah, it's good to be human. Yes. Yes. And I think it's really important that we talk about these topics, because I think that so many people fear AI and fear this about being replaced. And I love your analogies, knowing the recipe doesn't make you a chef, et cetera, et cetera. Yeah.
I will stop sharing. Okay, so we can have a conversation.
Yeah. Okay. And anyone who feels like it, get on camera and yeah.
Okay.
Share your thoughts. Yeah.
Okay.
I think it was very interesting too, because
thank you, Fatima.
Suddenly, really interesting, because it's another vision of what's AI for us, and of what we can, how we can face the AI threat and use it to help us and to be more, more flexible, more intuitive, more intelligent, and do the right decisions. Because where I see the AI is exactly where we need to automate things, things that are very manual and that doesn't bring any value for the people. So this is something that you can use. It's like an automation. It's the agents, and that's most of it. Yes, it can develop a lot of areas, but I think that we are going to have, yes, some threat in terms of certain job roles. Yes, and we cannot avoid it. I mean, I think we cannot not get away from it, but most of them we need to use it as something that gives us power to be more, more professional, more more. I would say to have more higher results, and this way we can really use it not as a threat, but also as a tool for us to help us, like we had in other years. But now it's more complex, and we know that it's going to be many people are afraid of it, and many organizations are going to use it as a tool to to get rid of some people
Yes.
without thinking, because some people, what they do, they just do, and after that they think that they shouldn't probably have done that, but it's already done. And we need to avoid and to discuss, and people need to get out and shout about it and see, okay, this is something that the agent or AI is doing, but it can't think. I mean, I'm the person who can say that this guy, the AI, is not doing the right way. This is not the right approach. This is where the exception is, and there only the humans can do it. So I think this is the experiential that you talk about. This is something that the AI cannot replace.
You have summed up everything. I don't have to add anything. Yeah. I'm convinced. I totally agree. The fact is that AI, it's there, whether we like it or not.
Yeah.
So the thing is really what I think it's how this is what you say. It's from threat to serve. How we can use AI to serve us, because it's there. We cannot be against AI. It's not possible. I mean, it's and I don't discuss it's good or bad. It's just there. So
yeah. We
Yeah.
cannot get away from it. So it's there. We need to use it the way we can and the better way. So improve, be more efficient and things like this.
Exactly. Thank you, Fatima. You absolutely had the point. I have nothing to add.
Thank you.
Someone else want to share their thought or have a question or a discussion? So.
Well, something that really resonated with me when you said that, when you described what it was like when you were writing a thesis in the past, etc. Now, of course, you shorten all that work, etc. Right? And something I saw this morning actually on LinkedIn. I used to work with who was the former CTO of Skype, and he posted something really interesting. He said that genuine storytelling is one of the most wanted professions today. And yeah, I mean, there we go. That's your angle as well, isn't it? That it becomes incredibly important, doesn't it? That it's genuine, that it's human, that it's a human reflection in there. And something else that also resonated with me was the way how you said we need to have a think about how we would like our work to be, how do we envision our work, what it's supposed to be, right? What's when we look at the technology and the changes and how can we use that as an assistant, right? And what can we do as humans even better? That was interesting thoughts to me.
Thank you. This is the question is how can I use based on my experience How can I use the AI to do things that maybe, or I don't want to do, or not only that, I have to admit that AI is not making is making mistake. But this is exactly like the accountant. A software does not make any mistake on reporting figures on the balance sheet. So what is the future of my work? And we're entering a new, I would say, the question is open. So yes, thank you. I have seen that Chanel. Do I pronounce your name correctly, Chanel?
Yes, that's exactly right, Shauna. I just had thanks for the presentation, and I just had a quick question for you because I think on your last slide you mentioned the three, the reveal, leverage, and transfer. I thought it very nice, a nice way to sum up how we can reflect our experiential knowledge. On the topic of transfer, I think you mentioned transferring it into a resource to help with transition or something along those lines. Maybe the
This
slide
one?
before, the one before this one.
Yeah, I think the one before, right?
Okay, so I have to do this one.
Yes.
Yeah.
So making it visible. So for the transform it into a resource for transitions and AI collaboration. Would you mind elaborating on this a little bit in terms of a practical example of how you could bring this to life? Thank you.
Yeah. So yeah. So the idea is to, so I think at the same time, so you want to know about the transfer, how we can transfer that. So the idea is, if you rely on experiential knowledge, and for instance, instead of focusing when you are at the first step of identifying, you don't focus on technical knowledge of the person, because this is exactly when you have, for instance, when you have a handover, someone is coming and someone is leaving for lot of transfer. Most of the time they spend their time on asking about technical knowledge, where you can find it. But what needs to be a transfer is something that has that are more value. For instance, the success, the failure. What do you wish I knew? What I wish I knew before I started. So and then when you do that, and also all of the implicit knowledge. So the implicit knowledge is the knowledge that you have when you are inside the company. And when you are inside from in the company, there are something you need to do. For instance, if you want to, I take something very, very easy. So imagine